What does it mean to work on yourself? And why is it so crucial? Let me assure you, my beloved, that working on yourself is the most important work you will ever do in this lifetime. You see, when I say work on yourself, I'm not talking about the external actions that most people associate with self-improvement. I'm not referring to going to the gym, reading self-help books, or attending seminars, although these can certainly be valuable activities. No, the work on yourself that I'm speaking of is much more profound, much more fundamental. It is the work of consciousness itself. To truly understand what it means to work on yourself, we must first understand a fundamental truth. You are not the person you appear to be in the world of Caesar. You are not your body, your personality, your social status, or your bank account. These are all part of what I call your outer self, the self that appears in the world of manifestation. But this outer self is merely a shadow, a reflection of your true self. Your true self, my dear friends, is pure consciousness. It is the awareness behind all your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It is the I am that exists before all else. This true self is unlimited, unbounded, and eternal. It is the very essence of God Himself, individualized as you. Now, why is this understanding so crucial? Because when you truly grasp that you are this infinite consciousness, you realize that all the work you need to do is within yourself. The entire universe exists within your consciousness. Therefore, to change your world, you must change yourself. Not the outer self that appears in the world, but the inner self, the consciousness from which all manifestation springs. This, my beloved, is what it truly means to work on yourself. It means to consciously shape your inner world, to mold your consciousness into the state that corresponds with your desires. It means to become aware of your thoughts, your assumptions, your beliefs, and to deliberately choose those that align with the reality you wish to experience. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Most people, when faced with financial lack, focus their efforts on the outer world. They look for better jobs, they try to cut expenses, they seek investment opportunities, and while these actions may have their place, they are not the true solution. The true solution, the real work, lies in changing your consciousness about money. It lies in assuming the state of wealth, in feeling the relief and joy of financial abundance, in truly knowing that you are already wealthy. This inner work, this shaping of consciousness, is what will truly transform your financial reality. You see, the outer world is nothing more than a shadow, reflection of your inner state, as within, so without. This is the great law, the fundamental principle that governs all creation. Whatever state you assume in consciousness, the outer world must conform to match it. It has no choice. It's law. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, surely our outer actions matter too. Surely we need to do something in the world to bring about change. And to this I say, of course, action has its place, but it is not the kind of action most people think of. The action that truly matters is not the striving, struggling action of trying to make things happen in the world. It is the action of assuming the state of your wish fulfilled. It is the action of living from the end, of experiencing in imagination the reality you desire to manifest. This, my dear friends, is the true work on yourself. It is the work of imagination, the work of consciousness, and it is the most powerful, the most transformative work you can ever undertake. Now let's delve deeper into what this work entails. The first step in working on yourself is to become aware of your current state of consciousness. What are your habitual thoughts? What are your deeply held beliefs about yourself and the world? What assumptions do you hold as true? This self-awareness is crucial because you cannot change what you're not aware of. Most people go through life on autopilot, unconsciously reacting to circumstances based on their conditioned beliefs and assumptions. But to truly work on yourself, you must become the conscious director of your own consciousness. Once you become aware of your current state, the next step is to choose the state you wish to embody. This is where your power as a creative being truly comes into play. You have the ability to select any state of consciousness you desire. Want to be wealthy? Choose the state of wealth. Want to be loved? Choose the state of being loved. Want to be successful? Choose the state of success. But here's the cues. These states not as future possibilities, but as present realities. This is where most people falter. They say, I want to be wealthy or I hope to find love. Always pushing their desires into some imagined future. But remember, there's no future in the realm of pure consciousness. There's only the eternal now. So instead of wanting or hoping, you must assume a state of already being, already having, already experiencing what you desire. This is what I mean when I speak of living from the end. You must live as though your desire is already fulfilled here and now. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, how can I feel wealthy when my bank account is empty? How can I feel love when I'm alone? How can I feel successful when I've just failed? And to this I say, this is precisely where the work comes in. This is where you must exercise your divine imagination. You see, your imagination is not some idle fantasy factory. It is the very workshop in which reality is created. What you imagine with feeling, what you experience vividly in your mind's eye, is not separate from reality. It is reality in its nascent state. It is the cause of which your physical experience is merely the effect. So when I say to assume the state of your wish fulfilled, I'm asking you to use your imagination to create a vivid, detailed, emotionally charged experience of already having what you desire. Feel the relief of financial abundance. Experience the joy of being deeply loved. Savor the satisfaction. You're in the crucial parts. You must persist in this state. This is not a one-time exercise. It's not something you do for a few minutes and then go back to your old state of consciousness. No, you must live from this new state consistently, persistently, until it becomes your new normal. This persistence is where the real work comes in. It's easy to imagine your desire fulfilled when you're sitting quietly in meditation. It's much more challenging to maintain that state when you're faced with contrary evidence in your physical reality. But this is precisely where your power lies. You see, your ability to maintain your chosen state, despite appearances, is the measure of your faith. And faith, my dear friends, is not mere belief. It is the evidence of things not seen. It is the substance of things hoped for. Your faith, your persistent assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled, is what bridges the gap between your current reality and your desired reality. Now, let's address another crucial aspect of working on yourself. The management of your inner dialogue, your self-talk, the constant chatter of your mind, is a powerful shaper of your consciousness. Most people let this inner dialogue run on autopilot, often filled with doubts, fears, and negative assumptions. But to truly work on yourself, you must take control of this inner conversation. Listen to what you're telling yourself throughout the day. Are you constantly affirming lack, limitation, and failure? Are you speaking to yourself from the state of your wish fulfilled? Remember, your subconscious mind is always listening, always accepting as true whatever you consistently tell it. So make your inner dialogue a powerful tool for shaping your consciousness. Speak to yourself as though you are already the person you wish to be. Use words and phrases that align with your desired state. Instead of saying, I hope this works out, say, I am so grateful this has worked out perfectly. Instead of thinking, I can't afford this thing, I'm abundantly supplied with all the resources I need. This control of your inner dialogue extends to your outer speech as well. Be mindful of the words you speak to others. Are you constantly talking about your problems, your lacks, your failures? Or are you speaking from the state of your wish fulfilled? Remember, every word you speak is a declaration to the universe. Make sure your declarations align with the reality you wish to create. Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of working on yourself. The management of your emotional state. Your emotions are not just reactions to your circumstances. They are powerful creative forces. The feeling is the secret, as I've often said. It's not enough to simply think about your desire or to speak about it. You must feel it as though it's already real. This is where many people struggle. They can visualize their desire, they can affirm it, but they can't seem to generate the feeling of it being real. And this is where another aspect of working on yourself comes into play. The cultivation of your emotional intelligence. You see, your emotions are not something that just happen to you. They are something you can learn to generate and manage. Just as an actor can summon different emotions at will, you too can learn to summon the emotions that correspond with your desired state. How do you do this? Through practice. Through the consistent, persistent use of your imagination. As you vividly imagine your desire fulfilled, allow yourself to feel the accompanying emotions. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement, the gratitude. Let these emotions fill your entire being. And here's a key point. These emotions must feel natural. They shouldn't feel forced or fake. If they do, it's a sign that you haven't fully assumed the state of your wish fulfilled. Keep working at it until the feeling becomes natural, until it feels like the most normal thing in the world. Now, let's address another crucial aspect of working on yourselves. The release of old limiting beliefs. You see, your consciousness is like a garden. Your thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs are the seeds you plant in this garden. And just as a garden will grow whatever seeds are planted in it, your consciousness will manifest whatever beliefs you hold. The problem is most people's consciousness is filled with weeds, limiting beliefs, negative assumptions, and fearful thoughts that they've accumulated over years or even lifetimes. These weeds choke out the beautiful flowers and fruits of their desires. So a crucial part of working on yourself is weeding your mental garden. You must become aware of your limiting beliefs and consciously choose to release them. This isn't always easy. These beliefs often feel very real, very true. But remember, there is no objective reality outside of your consciousness. What you believe to be true becomes true for you. How do you release these limiting beliefs? Through the power of revision. Revision is a technique I've spoken about many times. It involves going back into your memory and reimagining past events in a way that aligns with your desired state. For example, if you have a limiting belief about money that stems from childhood experiences of lack, you can go back in your imagination and revise those experiences. Imagine your childhood self experiencing abundance instead of lack. Feel the relief, the security, the joy of having more than enough. This isn't about denying or suppressing your actual memories. It's about recognizing that the past only exists in your consciousness and you have the power to reshape it. As you revise your past, you're literally rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways that support your desired state. Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of working on yourself. The cultivation of gratitude. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It's not just something you feel when good things happen to you. Gratitude, when properly understood and applied, is one of the most powerful tools for shaping your consciousness. You see, when you feel grateful, you're affirming that you already have what you desire. You're living from the state of fulfillment, of abundance, of your wish realized. And in doing so, you're aligning yourself powerfully with that reality. But here's the key. Grateful not just for what you already have in your physical reality, but for what you've assumed in your imagination. Feel grateful for your imagined wealth, your imagined loving relationship, your imagined successful career. Feel it with the same intensity, the same conviction as you would if these things were already manifest in your physical reality. This gratitude will transform your entire experience of life. You'll find yourself appreciating the present moment more fully, even as you're assuming a different state. You'll see the beauty and perfection in all things, recognizing them as expressions of the same divine consciousness that you are. Now, let's address something that often comes up as people begin this work on themselves. They start to worry about being selfish or self-centered. They think that focusing on their own consciousness, on their own desire, is somehow wrong or unspiritual. But my dear friends, nothing could be further from the truth. Working on yourself is the most selfless, the most loving thing you can do. Because as you elevate your own consciousness, as you align yourself with the state of your wishes fulfilled, you become a beacon of light in the world. You inspire others not through preaching or lecturing, but through your very being. Moreover, as you work on yourself, as you assume the state of your wishes fulfilled, you're better equipped to help others. Think about it. Can a drowning person save another drowning person? You need to be standing on solid ground, or better yet, in a boat, to be able to throw a lifeline to someone who's struggling. In the same way, when you're mired in lack and limitation, when you're struggling with your own unfulfilled desires, you're in no position to truly help others. But when you've done the work on yourself, when you're living from the state of fulfillment and abundance, you have the stability, the resources, and the inspiration to make a real difference in others' lives. Remember, too, that your state of consciousness affects not just your own experience, but the collective consciousness of humanity. Every time you elevate your consciousness, every time you assume a higher state, you're making it easier for others to do the same. You're adding your light to the sum of light, making it brighter for all. Now let's talk about persistence. Working on yourself is not a one-time event. It's not something you do for a few minutes each day and then forget about. It's a constant, ongoing process. It requires persistence, patience, and unwavering faith. There will be times when it feels challenging. There will be times when your old patterns of thought and emotion try to reassert themselves. There will be times when the evidence of your senses seems to contradict the state you're assuming. But here's where your true power lies. In your ability to persist despite appearances, your persistence in assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, even when everything seems to be going wrong, is the true measure of your faith. And faith, remembered, is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This persistence doesn't mean struggle or strain. It doesn't mean forcing yourself to think positive thoughts when you're feeling down. Rather, it means gently, lovingly bringing your attention back to your desired state whenever you notice yourself slipping. It means choosing, again and again, to live from the end. Now let's address another crucial aspect of working on yourself: the cultivation of stillness. In our busy, noisy world, it's easy to get caught up in constant doing, constant thinking, but true power, true transformation, comes from stillness. You see, it's in moments of stillness that you can most clearly hear the voice of your divine self. It's in stillness that you can most powerfully impress your subconscious mind with the reality of your desires. It's in stillness that you can most effectively shape your consciousness. So make time each day for stillness. This doesn't have to be formal meditation, although that can certainly be beneficial. It can be as simple as taking a few moments to quiet your mind, to turn your attention inward. In these moments of stillness, practice feeling the reality of your desires. Experience vividly in your imagination the state of your wish fulfilled. Let the feeling of it saturate your entire being. This is where the real work happens. This is where you truly shape your consciousness. Now let's talk about another important aspect of working on yourself: the practice of detachment. This might seem counterintuitive. After all, if you're working to manifest your desires, shouldn't you be deeply attached to them? But here's the paradox. The more attached you are to a specific outcome, the more you push it away. This is because attachment comes from a place of lack. It's based on the belief that you don't have what you want, that you need something outside of yourself to be complete. True manifestation, true creation, come from a place of fullness, of completeness. It comes from the knowing that you already are everything you desire to be. This is why I often say you must be before you can do, and do before you can have. So practice detachment. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent to your desires. It means releasing the anxious need for them. It means trusting in the perfect unfoldment of your assumption. It means knowing that as you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, it must manifest in your outer world. This law, this detachment allows you to live joyfully in the present moment, even as you're assuming a different state. It frees you from the constant anxiety of when and how your desire will manifest. It allows you to relax into the knowing that what you have assumed in consciousness must objectify itself in your world. Now let's address something that often comes up as people delve deeper into this work. They start to wonder about the nature of reality itself. They begin to question everything they've been taught about the world, about themselves, about the nature of existence. And to this I say, good. This questioning is a natural and necessary part of the process, because the truth is the nature of reality is far different from what most people believe. You see, the world you perceive with your senses is not the fundamental reality. It's a shadow, a reflection of your consciousness. The true reality, the only reality, is consciousness itself. Everything you experience, every person, every object, every circumstance is a manifestation of consciousness. This understanding is crucial to your work on yourself, because once you truly grasp that consciousness is the only reality, you realize that by changing your consciousness, you change everything. There's nothing outside of you that needs to be changed or overcome. There are no external forces working against you. There's only your own wonderful human imagination. Now, this realization can be both liberating and daunting. Liberating, because it means you have complete control over your reality. Daunting, because it means you have complete responsibility for your reality. There's no one else to blame, no circumstances to point to as the cause of your problems. But embrace this responsibility, my dear friends, for in it lies your true power. When you take full responsibility for your reality, you reclaim your divine creativity. You step into your role as the operant power in your world. Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of working on yourself: the cultivation of self-love. Many people struggle with this. They've been conditioned to believe that self-love is selfish or arrogant, but nothing could be further from the truth. You see, you cannot give what you do not have. If you don't love yourself fully and completely, how can you truly love others? If you don't value yourself, how can you offer value to the world? Self-love is the foundation upon which all other love is built. Moreover, self-love is crucial to your work of consciousness, because to truly assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you must believe that you are worthy of your desires. You must know deep in your heart that you deserve all the good that life has to offer. So cultivate self-love. Appreciate your own unique qualities. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Forgive yourself for past mistakes, knowing that they were necessary steps in your journey. Treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer to a dear friend. As you work on yourself, as you shape your consciousness, you'll find that this self-love grows naturally, because you'll begin to recognize your true nature as a divine creative being. You'll see that you are not separate from God, but an individualized expression of God. And how can you not love that which is divine? Now let's address another important aspect of working on yourself: the practice of forgiveness. Many people carry around grudges, resentments, and hurts from the past. They think that by holding on to these negative feelings, they're somehow punishing those who wronged them. But the truth is, they're only punishing themselves. You see, when you hold on to negative feelings about others, you're holding yourself in a state of conflict, of separation. You're affirming a reality in which you are a victim, in which others have power over you. As long as you hold this state, you cannot fully step into your power as a creator. So practice forgiveness, not for the sake of others, but for your own sake. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful actions. It's about releasing yourself from the negative state that those actions have held you in. It's about reclaiming your power to shape your own reality. Remember, everyone in your reality is ultimately a reflection of your own consciousness. So when you forgive others, you're really forgiving aspects of yourself. You're releasing limiting beliefs and negative patterns that have held you back. You're clearing the way for a new, more empowering state of consciousness. Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of working on yourself: the cultivation of faith. Faith is often misunderstood. Many people think of it as blind belief, as accepting something without evidence. But true faith is something much more powerful. Faith, in the context of your work on yourself, is the absolute knowing that what you have assumed in consciousness must manifest in your reality. It's not hoping or wishing. It's not even believing. It's knowing. This knowing comes from your understanding of the law of consciousness. Just as you know that a seed planted in fertile soil must grow into a plant, you know that a state assumed in consciousness must objectify itself in your reality. It's not a matter of if, but when. Cultivating this faith requires practice. It requires persistently assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, even when your senses tell you otherwise. It requires trusting in the perfect unfoldment of your assumption, even when you can't see how it will come about. But as you persist in this faith, as you live consistently from the state of your wish fulfilled, you'll find that your outer world begins to conform to your inner state. You'll see evidence of your assumption manifesting in your reality. And with each manifestation, your faith will grow stronger. Now let's address something that often comes up as people delve deeper into this work. They begin to wonder about their purpose in life. They ask, if I can create anything I desire, what should I create? What am I here to do? And to this I say, your purpose is to express the infinite creativity of God. You are here to experience, to create, to expand. You are here to be a unique expression of the divine, to bring your own special gifts into the world. But here's the kicker. Your purpose is not something separate from your desires. Your desires are the way that the infinite expresses itself through you. They are the unique flavor of your divine expression. So don't worry about finding your purpose as if it's something outside of you. Instead, follow your desires. Pursue what brings you joy, what excites you, what makes you feel alive. As you do this, as you fully express your unique self, you'll naturally fall into alignment with your divine purpose. Now let's talk about another crucial aspect of working on yourself. The practice of letting go. This might seem contradictory to what we've been discussing about persistence and faith, but letting go is actually a crucial part of the manifestation process. You see, when you're constantly focused on your desire, constantly wondering when and how it will manifest, you're actually affirming its absence. You're holding yourself in a state of wanting, of lacking. And remember, what you focus on expands. So once you've assumed the state of your wish fulfilled, once you've impressed your subconscious mind with the reality of your desire, you need to let it go. Trust that the seed you planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind will grow in its own time, in its own way. This letting go allows the creative forces of the universe to work on your behalf. It opens up space for inspired action, for synchronicities, for the perfect unfoldment of your assumption. It allows you to live joyfully in the present moment, knowing that your future is secure. Now, as we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize again the importance of persistence in your work on yourself. This is not a one-time event. It's not something you do for a few weeks or months and then stop. It's a lifelong journey of growth, of expansion, of becoming. There will be challenges along the way. There will be times when your old patterns of thought and emotion try to reassert themselves. There will be times when the evidence of your senses seems to contradict the state you're assuming. But remember, these challenges are not obstacles to your progress. They are opportunities for you to demonstrate your faith, to prove to yourself the power of your consciousness. Each time you persist in your assumption despite contrary appearances, you're strengthening your faith, deepening your understanding, and accelerating your manifestation. So persist, my dear friends. Persist in assuming the state of your wish fulfilled. Persist in living from the end. Persist in knowing that you are the operant power in your world. As you do this work on yourself, as you consistently shape your consciousness, you'll find that your entire experience of life transforms. You'll move through the world with a newfound sense of peace, of joy, of certainty. You'll see the perfection in all things, recognizing them as expressions of your own wonderful human imagination. You'll become a living testament to the power of consciousness. You'll inspire others not through preaching or lecturing, but through your very being. You become a light in the world, illuminating the path for others to follow. And as you continue this work, as you persistently assume higher and higher states of consciousness, you'll find that your desires change. You move beyond the desire for mere material things or worldly success. You begin to desire the highest expression of yourself, the fullest manifestation of your divine nature. This, my beloved, is the true work on yourself. It's not about becoming someone different or better. It's about awakening to who you truly are. It's about remembering your divine nature, your oneness with God, your power as a creative being. So go forth now, armed with this knowledge, and begin the great work of shaping your consciousness. Remember that you are not separate from God, but an individualized expression of God. Remember that the entire universe exists within your consciousness. Remember that what you assume, what you feel to be true, must manifest. Work on yourself diligently, persistently, lovingly. Assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Live from the end. Feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude of already being the person you desire to be, of already having what you desire to have. And as you do this work, as you shape your consciousness, watch and wonder as the world around you transforms to match your inner state. For this is the true art of living, the true science of creation. This is your birthright as a divine being. Claim it, live it, and transform your world. Remember, my dear friends, the greatest discovery of all time is that you can change your world by changing your consciousness. So work on yourself, shape your consciousness, and step into your power as the creator of your reality. The world is waiting for you to awaken to your true nature. The time is now. The power is within you. Use it and watch miracles unfold in your life.